Thanks for liking the stream Fire Fang VR. Wednesday YYY says he. Wednesday YYY says I love your videos. Firefang VR says okay, your mouth is moving, but I am not hearing anything. Thanks for liking the stream Fire Fang VR. Wednesday YYY says bye. Thanks for liking the stream Fire Fang VR. Thanks for liking the stream notifications. Thanks for liking the stream notifications. Thanks for liking the stream notifications.
Restarting. Okay. I'm seeing. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I think I have my audio working now. You guys can hear me okay now? Sorry about that. Testing. I should have checked that first. Okay. All right. So the audio is working. Sorry about that. I don't know. The NVIDIA broadcast sometimes it flakes out on me. So just to kind of talk about, repeat some of what I said, I guess. So as some of you may or may not know, I am creating my first world, my very first world. It'll be called Grandma's Cabin, and it's from a memory from my past, a place I would visit when I was young. It doesn't exist anymore. I've been trying to find it. I know kind of where it is in Michigan, but I haven't quite found a place where it might be. I just know it was east of Higgins Lake. Yeah, but it was a wooded area. When I look at Google Maps, it's a lot more developed, has more modern housing there now, so I'm not sure how I can ever figure out exactly where it was. Um, because I was going to try to download a height map for the area, but I'm not sure exactly where it is, so I gave up on that. But one thing I am looking for is, well, I remember the cabin had lots of wood inside and out. There was no drywall in the wood and in the cabin. It was all like tongue and groove planks, like on the outside and on the inside. Now these planks, I remember. I'm not 100% sure the whole thing was cedar, but it might have been. I just remember the strong smell of cedar when I go and visit the cabin. And I loved that cedar smell because it was different than anything else I experienced when I was a kid. I loved going to that cabin. Um, it was in a wooded area, and there was a lot of like I remember some birch trees. I remember some maple trees, and there was a woods behind it. So I did get some assets from say like the Unity Asset Store, like some trees, some really cool looking trees, um, very, very detailed trees. So I'm not sure yet what I can get away with in VRChat as far as how much detail I can put into this thing, but I guess I'll find out. But I figured I'll just start big and optimize where I need to get it to work in VRChat. And and maybe I can get this up in CVR too. So, and I don't know about Neos VR. That's a totally different system, a different way of doing things. But I assume I can get textures up there in the Neos VR somehow. So you got the trees, the planks in and out of this cabin. There were like tongue and groove planks that were vertical, which you don't see a lot of, especially if you're looking for like a cabin model to start with. There's nothing uh, that fits the bill that I could find. So I'm making a lot of stuff from scratch. And one of the things that I'm working on is the wood. And I found this tutorial. The tutorial it's on YouTube. It's a tutorial by Jeremy Seiner. That's Seiner. Very good tutorial. And this tutorial, what he's making is wood floor planks to like make a really realistic wood floor planks for like a room that you might have in the house. But what I want to do is make the planks that go on the walls. And I'm using Substance Designer. Now, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but I am going through a tutorial to learn how to make a wood grain in Substance Designer. And what's very appealing about this to me is that it's like writing a computer program. And I am a software engineer, so it's like I'm really getting into this. It's these are like procedural blocks that work on graphics, and I'm just from scratch, and with the help of this tutorial, um, you start with certain things, um, and you just keep building on things with these blocks. I'm only partway through the tutorial. I got a long ways to go, but you can start to see um, the wood pattern that you can create from scratch. So you can see I like this swirly pattern, and these round things will be the knots in the wood. So I think, you know, Adobe Substance Designer is pretty dang awesome. So I'm really liking this tutorial, and I'm really excited to get this done because I really want to get the right aesthetics for this cabin. Uh, yeah, so I'm really liking this. So I had a kind of false start on the stream because my audio wasn't working. I'm wondering if I should restart it. I had some people joining it left because they couldn't hear me. Um, we'll promote it too. Let me check my other streams. Other things going. I might have some people watching over Twitch, YouTube. I know I couldn't be heard over there at the beginning either, but I did get the audio fixed midstream. So I'm going to, what am I going to do? Let me check my phone. Let's see. Right, I'm going to try one thing first. I'm going to restart the TikTok stream. I'm going to leave the Twitch stream alone. Then we go live again. Chatting Substance Designer. Oh. Okay, so let's just do this. We'll resend out the notification. Yeah, so that's what I thought about the Substance Designer. It's a lot like computer programming, which I think is a very cool aspect of this application. So I'm working on my own custom wood pattern with this. I'm following a tutorial, and yeah, I can move lighting around too. Yeah, you can also zoom in on this, and added a little bit of noise. I might reduce the noise a little bit. And I'll have to see how this ends up, because I might need to reduce the number of knots, because in the cedar walls in this cabin that I'm making, I don't remember there being really that many knots. It was fairly clear. And of course, this was back in the 60s, 70s, and the wood quality was a bit better back then. Yeah, I just thought I would share a little bit about what I'm working on here. It was pretty cool. Um, yeah, I just thought it was amazing. I mean, it looks like you can create, well, you can create a ton of different textures with this from scratch. And I thought I would do it this way. Sure, I could probably search the internet and bum some wooden patterns from somewhere, but you know, I'm going for a particular cedar kind of
Thanks for
look.
liking the stream, Ash.
Oh, thank you, Ash. And it looking pretty well now. Like I said earlier, I might want to change this so there's not quite so
Thanks
many
for liking the
knots.
stream, Ash.
And but I
May
think,
Bruno says, how are you?
oh, good. We're just going off of this wood pattern I'm making from scratch. I still have to tweak this a bit.
Thanks for liking the stream, Ash.
This is the Substance Designer. A very cool application. It makes creating textures from scratch very programmatic looking. And of course, here's your outputs, like your normal and your different outputs from this thing. These will be your texture files when I'm eventually done with this. And I am following a tutorial to kind of help me along with this, because I'm not a substance designer uh, expert by any means, but I am starting to really like this application. It's a lot of fun. And, and I thought I would stream it. Things are, streams are usually a little slow on Sundays, but I figured I'd go online, on the air, so to speak. So I do have Adobe Cloud subscription. Um, yeah, I think that's the best way to legitimately get these tools. It's just a monthly thing. And you get access to all the applications without having to fork out many thousands of dollars to buy it outright. But I think the subscription is even better because you get all the updates and all the latest tools. Usually, what happens, like when I do avatars, I'll buy an avatar asset and they'll give you a Substance Painter file, and I'll get a warning every time I load it saying, hey, if you save this, it'll be from a different version, because the Substance files that I get are usually from an old version of the Substance Painter application. But it works. It's just it gives you that warning all the time. Um, One thing I find kind of disturbing is every once in a while I'll see some creators and whatnot say, "Oh, it's you know morally justified, to pirate software, but I don't know. I try to do things legit. Understand that everybody can afford things, but the Adobe Cloud made it much more affordable to me to do the subscription thing. And if you're a student or you do any kind of teaching or whatnot, so you can get the educational subscription, which is costs even a lot less. Like if you have a student ID or something, you can get a subscription, pretty good deal for Adobe. Um, yeah, it's having the subscription is nice because you always get the latest stuff. And Adobe is working on AI capabilities, which I think is great. I had somebody tell me that, oh, Adobe's going to go by the wayside, but I don't think they are. They're getting on the AI train just like everyone else, and I can foresee something like this, the Adobe Substance Designer. It's very procedural and stuff. I can foresee AI helping with this too. Like you could go in here and maybe you can ask the AI to create uh, a wood grain pattern, and it might do this for you instead of me having to do all this manually following a tutorial. It might put the blocks in place to get you started, which would be a real time saver. Because I've got hours to go left on this yet. But I thought I would go on here live and just kind of show you, how far I've gotten so far. And once I get this almost complete, I'm probably going to tweak this a little bit, see if I can change the wood knot pattern, maybe make it less dense. It just depends on what it'll look like because I'm looking to create some wooden planks. And this would have been, I'm not sure when that cabin was built. It was like it was probably built in the 50s at least. I'm not sure if it's older than that, but yeah, it was probably 50s, could have been even 40s potentially. Um, a lot of wood, didn't have plaster or drywall or anything like that. On the inside, it was all wood planks, and it was high quality wood because the wood back then was a lot higher quality than it is now, and so there would have been a lot less knots in the wood like what's in here. So once I get through this tutorial, I'm going to start tweaking this to get it to look like what I want. To look like cedar, like a cedar plank. A cedar plank like you would get in the 40s. Getting nice cedar planks nowadays is much, much tougher and much, much more expensive. This cabin was like a little gem from my memory, and I really, really miss this place. So I'm going to try to recreate it in VR. And it'll be my first world too. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a lot of the stuff from scratch. I'm a bit of perfectionist, so I'm going through and learning this as I'm doing. Now I'm a software engineer by trade. Almost went into music because I played like 3 or 4 different. Yeah, well, if you count like the different versions of saxophone, I played like 3 or 4 different instruments when I was going to college. Almost majored into music, and then discovered computers and went into computers. But I think, inside of me, there's this creative artist person who doesn't have a lot of experience creating art, but has a big desire to create some art. So this will give me an outlet for that little artist that's hidden inside of me. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff I'm just learning by doing, and and plus I like tinkering with this kind of stuff. Getting there, I think. I like the patterns making, though I will modify it because the look I'm going for is cedar that's pretty clear, not quite so knotty like this. So I'm I get further along in this, I'll kind of go back to these other procedural blocks and modify them. Like this one here kind of creates these obelisks, these warping obelisks that create the knots. I may go back and simplify that. See this one. Oh yeah, so this one creates a grid, creates these little ellipses. Um, Pattern, they're paraboloids. Um, in here, just a position, offsets. I mean, there's just so many things you can fit in here. Wing mode, attributes, these parameters. Okay, yeah, here. So creating like an 8x4. So if I like move this up and down, you can see the pattern changes. There's fewer knots. I do like a 4x4. Which one was it? Yeah. So that one's 6 instead of 8. I don't know, that looks a little better to me. A little bit fewer knots. Um, yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's parameters you can play with, and yeah, I'm gonna play with them some more to see if I can get closer to those cedar plank looks. That look, this would be cedar planks from the middle of the last century. So the wood would have been pretty decent, more clear kind of wood. So I'm gonna play with these a bit and try to get that desired pattern that I'm looking for. Um, of course, on my to-do list too is to make a series for TikTok. TikTok is really pushing the store. I hear mixed things about that, and I don't really create things to sell, at least not yet, anyway. Um, but I do have a lot of knowledge I could share regarding like programming and things like that. Um, oh yeah, I can certainly create a series. and I'm working on some concepts for that. Trying to figure out, what people would be interested in. And the interesting thing about TikTok is they like say, oh, it'd be really great if the videos were more than 10 minutes long for the series. So you always have to look at those hints because they'll give you hints as to what would do better. And I did do a how-to video that I shared like on YouTube and on TikTok. It's not part of a series or anything. It's just uploaded there where I did some coloring of the otter's avatar eyes. And you can see that on YouTube or my TikTok videos. I think I just recorded that, so you won't be able to find that on Twitch. Twitch doesn't, at least to my knowledge, allow you to upload things. Everything has to come from like a live. Um, yeah. All right, so if anybody has any questions or anything, but you're welcome to ask. I'm sure stuff is still working. And my allergies are getting to me. Pacific Northwest in the summertime is bad allergy season for me. Yeah, I'm only partway through this tutorial. This is the final blend for the outputs. And I'm working on stuff back here. This is what adds noise to the grain, though I think this is the cloud. And so you can tweak some of these numbers. Oh, want a lot of noise in there. Yeah, too much noise. Yeah, I think maybe just a little bit of noise like that. I think it'll be good. here. I wonder what would happen if I larger. And that's a little bit too faded. But I think I might like this to be 3 better. I'll have to play with it as I go to see if I can get some of it I don't quite like yet. To move some settings a little bit more. I can probably get there as I work on this some more to get more of that cedar look I'm looking for. 50s cedar look. Yeah, a really cool piece of software. Procedural design, like computer programming blocks. That's what I like about it. But, yeah, so it's kind of middle of Sunday. Things are kind of slow on Sundays. So in my live here and just do some more work on some different things. And then I might come on live again later, maybe on VR chat, or maybe I'll play a game, stream a game. We'll see. a second. Yeah. All right. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. And I'll see you on my stream later. I'll